You know very well where you are. They're gonna hold you down and eat your heart. They're cannibals, and there's so many. But you're the only one, but they'll chop you to plenty. Juicy.
What the fuck was that?
Roll the credits.
SHORYUFLICKS.
What's up, guys? Thank you for watching another episode of SHORYUFLICKS. My name is Maersky. This is my boy.
I'm Will.
Hi, Will.
Hi, Maersky.
Guess what movie we saw?
It hurts to say. I don't know if we want to even tell them what we watched.
Me and Will actually got up enough nerve to go watch Eli Roth's The Green Inferno.
Took a lot of courage.
Took a lot of courage. We actually were actually doing a lot of research on the internet beforehand. So this movie is actually supposed to come out in 2013 and got delayed for a bunch of reasons. Will, when I was texting you back and forth about getting ready to watch this movie,
Yes.
you were genuinely getting freaked out that you were gonna like throw up, right?
Yeah, I was contemplating bringing like a Ziploc bag or something, because from everything I was hearing from you and from what I was reading, this was supposed to really make you wanna.
It was basically another Eli Roth gross out flick.
Right, and you know, seeing other movies that were similar in terms of themes of, you know, being just gross in general, having organs everywhere and stuff like that, I thought I would be prepared for The Green Inferno. I wasn't prepared for what I ended up seeing, though.
So, the trailers were a great marketing ploy to actually get you to go see this. They had the one Night Cam Vision trailer that kind of got everyone...
Suckered me in.
Suckered you in, man. Green screen, because whenever you see the audience react the way it does, you're like, I want to see if I can feel that way when you watch this type of movie.
Right.
But when we got into the theater, we were getting very prepared to see the grossest, most violent, most vile film of all time.
It was vile, though.
It was vile, yeah.
Some parts were kind of like, oh.
Will, what did you think of The Green Inferno?
Worst movie of 2015. Hands down.
Wow.
Hands down.
That's harsh.
I watched a lot of movies in 2015. Worst one I've seen. I'll go through each and every single part in our little breakdown.
Okay.
I guess we should start with watchability.
Yep. You go ahead and take that.
Okay, sure. It was hard to watch, but not for the reasons they marketed for. It wasn't because it was too violent or too much gore. It was just bad.
Acting wise, or just
yeah. I mean, the way it started off, it already set a bad tone because of the fact that the actress that played the main character, Justine's roommate. Oh my god,
she looked like just a reject from.
She looked like a strung out person that drank a little bit too much coffee but had no motivation to live her life.
It looked like she was an all that character from the old school Nickelodeon that didn't make it.
Yeah, and her acting reflected this, so she's probably. That just set the whole tone of it. I looked during the movie like, this is horrible acting right from the get-go. And then you can see why he cast certain people for certain roles, especially the female roles. It just feels like he didn't think it through and just literally went through a whole bunch of resumes and just picked the prettiest girls. Yeah. That's what it felt like to me. I felt like they're trying too hard to be good. It just came off as completely non-genuine to me.
I gotcha.
And I found myself looking at my watch way too often, hoping it would end.
Oh man!
I'm sorry, Eli Roth, but this is not your best work. I'm not trying to be too mean. It's just yikes, man.
So for me, it was his inspiration for this type of movie. It's a cannibal movie. If you guys haven't figured that out, or by the promos that have been happening, these types of movies are really not my thing. But we basically saw it so that we can actually feel something different than what we felt in the movie theater before. But Cannibal Holocaust, which is the inspiration for this, is on YouTube somewhere because someone just posted the entire movie, and I watched I guess most of it, what I wanted to watch. But for The Green Inferno, watchability for me too was not that great. Like I was engaged basically just to see how everyone was gonna die, and I mean, this is what you walk into with these horror movies. But
how creative can you be with it?
Yeah, how creative can you be with the death?
Mm-hmm.
And minor spoilers. The first I guess cannibalistic act that happens that is the only thing that is gonna get you.
That is the one saving part.
That is the one saving part of the movie that's
going
to get you. I don't want to, again, we're not going to spoil it for you that much, but the first cannibalistic act that happens, that's what's going to get you.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it was basically downhill. The reason it was downhill, though, is because it was predictable.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were going in there thinking that everyone was going to die in a way that we probably never saw before. But
yeah.
They pretty much died the way you would see them die on Walking Dead, which is kind of what.
Yeah.
It's
not zombies.
No zombies.
Don't get it wrong. It's not zombies, but
because by the time that after that first cannibalistic act happens, you're when the cannibals are going after the other people and they're doing their thing with them. It's basically like you're watching The Walking Dead, except they're cannibals. It wasn't nothing.
Yeah. Well,
it wasn't. It wasn't impacting enough for me to care. And then the character development was somewhat decent, where I would care. I actually got to care about the two characters. After that, like, you didn't care if anybody else died. Like, seriously, it wasn't that great. So again, for watchability for me, I can't even. Other than that one death that happened, I would give watchability like a 2.
Same here. I get 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
That's being generous.
The next measure that we're going by is fun factor. I didn't have any fun seeing this movie. I didn't have any fun seeing this movie. I mean, you were basically watching it to see how everyone was gonna get chopped up or just kind of try to escape and then get foiled by the natives, this is basically me giving out the plot point because that's exactly what you thought was going to happen.
There's not much plot because so it's really hard not to give anything away.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you have any fun?
I mean, there were certain parts I had fun with, but it was only because I was laughing at just how ridiculous the movie was. It's not because it was actually fun to watch, but it's just because, wow, can it get any worse? Oh, it does.
Yeah.
And it keeps topping itself and how bad it gets. I was hoping it'd be more in terms of like the amount of gore and stuff like that. It'd be like Hostel, where it just kept progressing, getting worse and worse and worse, until you get like to the ultimate pinnacle of disgusting.
That's a good Eli Roth movie, and
yeah,
that's the cool thing to say. But Hostel was actually good, so
I liked him.
Yeah,
well, the first 2. There's like a third, anyway.
I didn't like the second one. Dick ripping is not my thing.
I don't even know what to say.
Moving on.
No, I laughed more at this film than I was actually feeling cringeworthy. So I did have fun. I actually had fun watching it, not because of how good the movie was, but because of how bad it was.
Okay.
I was entertaining myself by seeing how bad it could get, and I just kept getting more and more funny because it was worse and worse and worse and worse.
I gotcha. I'll give you this though: the actress that plays Justine, what's her name?
Lorenza Izzo.
Lorenza Izzo. H to the Izzo. Sorry.
Not a good day for you today.
It's not, but who cares? But she actually played it so that I actually gave a little bit of a care about her, but. Again, the acting wasn't great.
Even that was, with Justine's character, I mean, in any kind of movie in this genre, they always, to a certain extent, objectify women roles. Mm-hmm. So, they either overly sexualize them or show a lot of, skin. Yeah. Yeah. So even there's like this one part in the movie where, it's a little bit gratuitous in terms of how much they show of the Justine character, but even at that point, it's kind of like,
yeah, who cares? It's just there's nothing.
It was pointless.
It was pointless.
It was like it does nothing for. And what's funny is they show it, and they cover up in like next few seconds later. So it's like literally you're just putting it in there to show something.
Yeah.
But there was no reason for it.
Here's another thing that they put in there just to show something. This is a major spoiler, so just if you want to listen to this next 2 minutes, just kind of fast forward. Basically, I don't know how much of a spoiler it is because it's
something that's shown in the movies.
Something that's shown in the movies.
Doesn't
really
ruin
spoiler. Doesn't ruin anything for you. And this is exactly. So me telling you this is not going to ruin anything for the movie. They just kind of
so pointless.
They kind of just added it in there. So there's a point in the movie where they're all caged in by the cannibals. And Kirby Bliss Bland's character Amy just obviously would get sick from what some of the things that she just saw, but she just goes into a corner and just starts taking a dump.
But even the acting was like, guys, I feel sick, and everyone's like, oh, we all feel sick.
And then she just goes in there.
No, I'm really sick. And she goes in the corner and just takes like the most liquid sounding shit in the world. Like literally, it sounded like she was pouring a Poland Spring bottle out.
This scene lasted 2 minutes longer than it should have, too, and it just ended with the native kids making fun of her by going like this.
So
Why?
Bad.
Why?
So bad. And again, that was part of what made fun for me, because it was like, wow, okay, you just made it worse. Good job, Eli Roth.
All right. So fun factor.
Just because I actually had a good time laughing at it, I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Wow.
Not because it was actually good, but because I
This
actually made it
probably
fun.
this is going to be another. This is fun factor for me was 2, but let's move on.
Yep.
What's next?
Next up we have is tone. So for me, the tone was very deliberate. It had the evil and tribal feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they actually did a halfway decent job with tone, because it started off as college students, figuring themselves out and hearing some big protest going on outside their dorm room. And then you can see that they kind of, the main actress, Justine, or the main character Justine, is very kind of like, what's going on over there?
And she wants to get involved.
But her roommate is like, oh, why do you want to do that? This is stupid. But again, I don't even like the roommate character.
Yeah.
So I was like, I agree with her. This is stupid. Why? I don't even like her.
There's a part 2, a minor spoiler again. There's just when she's going away on the trip and her roommate hugs her and says, I love you. Oh,
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. So what?
I mean,
okay.
I don't want to hate on the actress too much, but it's like, you did such a bad job.
Yeah, or she might have just not been given any material to work with. I mean, but for real,
it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, to get back to tone, it is. You get the tone pretty. It's hard to really mess up on tone because you're setting it up for the entire movie. So they did have a good job of making it so it seemed it was like the evil and tribal was the main theme they're going for, mixing those two worlds together and showing how.
Where was the evil part? So here's where we're going to disagree, because the tone for me was more after you, again, barring any of the cannibalistic acts that happened in the movie, the rest of the depiction of the tribe or the natives of the island, or the cannibals, is like a National Geographic documentary.
Yes, that's actually
right.
True. That is very true.
Because after you're done hacking up the person you're gonna eat, it's like they're happy. They're going about. There wasn't like any. That's what got me too. It's like I don't understand. Like I understand who's the bad guy here.
Yeah.
I understand that from the movie. This is what I got from Eli Roth's tone. This is just part of their culture. This is how they're raised.
It's no different from killing a pig.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's no different from killing an animal and eating the animal. There was no satanic ritual. There was no evil for me. What about you?
I mean,
really? You thought it was evil?
What they were trying to mask who was evil. So what I mean they're trying to be evil was like they showed the tribe as initially like, oh, they're messed up people.
Yeah.
Like all they do is just kill people and eat them. But then as the story very loosely story develops, you see that they're more so exacting vengeance more than anything for taking away their home and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then you kind of start. Then you have to decide who's the bad guy. Is it the tribal people or is it the people that try and take away their home?
Right. A backstory on that too. So again, minor spoiler. Who cares? The plot point of the movie was. This girl, Justine, is looking outside her college dorm window and sees a bunch of activists that want to go save this tribe.
Alejandro.
In the don't get me started on Alejandro.
Character's so stupid
So-
and douchey.
Ariel Levy, I mean, you might be a good person, dude. I don't know you, but and if you ever watch this, I'm sorry, but
You did a good job being a douchebag.
you did a really good job being a douchebag in this movie. You actually, so I didn't even know. I thought that was Jesse Bradford for a minute. Yeah, and we all know who Jesse Bradford is if you watch movies. I thought that was Jesse Bradford until he stood up because he was actually tall. Jesse Bradford's kind of short, and then he opened his mouth, and then he had the, and this might be your natural accent, dude.
It is.
And I'm sorry, but it was just annoying as heck.
Yes, it was.
And it kind of took me out of the movie a little bit.
But
But it actually made you a really good douchebag. It made you an awesome douchebag, that accent, but...
So she kind of gets enthralled by this
Yeah.
douchebag, wants to join his organization to help stop the destruction of Chilean rainforests.
Is it Chilean? That's Peruvian. It's
Peruvian,
yeah.
Okay, so sorry. So they go down to the rainforests of Peru, and basically, the reason that Alejandro's character brought Justine into the fold was because of the fact that her dad was part of the UN, and it was a way of exploiting her ability to reach the masses.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he brought her in, right? And from there, she realized that very quickly when they were willing to sacrifice her to get the notoriety they wanted. And then they're on the way home and flying on the plane, and of course,
Plane has engine trouble.
It blows up, and half the crew dies in that one accident.
Yeah, there's actually a couple points where I saw you were like, oh!
Well, yeah, that was part of the fun part. Like,
Yeah.
that really just happened to that character. That sucks for them.
Yeah.
So at that point, once the plane crashes, they try. They're walking through the rainforest trying to get their bearings. No, not even. They get captured right away, right?
Yeah, they kind of, yeah, so their plane crashes, half the crew dies, and then they look around for about 5 minutes for a GPS to send some kind of signal to a satellite, which I don't know if that's an accurate type of technology that can happen out there in Peru. Maybe. Maybe
I
it
want
was
that
just
cell
made.
phone.
Maybe it was just made up for the movie.
Like,
maybe.
But yeah, so the tribal people, or they start getting hit with darts and they pass out.
Yeah.
One of them gets shot through the neck with a spear.
Yeah.
And then they wake.
Let's stop giving out the. But you can see where the movie goes from there.
Yeah.
So, tone so I didn't really understand what the tone was supposed to be. So because of that, I give it a 2 again.
I gave it a 3.
Because of what?
Because I don't feel like they messed up on it. Because again, the tone to me was pretty straightforward.
Okay.
To me, it was. I mean, it wasn't.
For tone, we'll agree to disagree.
Yeah,
I guess.
for once.
For once.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. Okay. Pace and editing. I think the pace and editing was actually not that bad. Okay. So, the pace of the movie kind of goes up, levels off, and then it kind of just keeps going. So it's not really. There are not too many lulls in there. The editing was actually not that bad.
That's pretty damn good considering the conditions you're working with.
Right. Yeah. Also, just to add to that, I guess because this wouldn't really go into the next one, which is acting. So the actual special effects for the gore was actually very good. So whoever, I think it was K&B Effects. I don't know. We'll look that up.
Yeah,
or you guys can look that up for me. But they did really, really well, especially in that first hack and slash cannibalistic act. We were both just like, oh, wow.
Yeah, that was the only part that I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yep, this is happening to him. Or her.
Yeah.
Or that. Mm-hmm. Not to give anything away.
Again, you know what also, too, as far as the editing part goes, and this I guess would fall into there, too, we saw an R-rated version of the movie in the theater. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that in an unrated version that might come out on Blu-ray, there might be more of the gore that was promised. Hopefully.
That would be nice.
Nice, but it was not going to save the movie.
It would help a little.
It would help a little, but because again, we're promised a lot of stuff that we wouldn't have seen before.
You could have had a first-time movie watcher in their entire life. First movie they were watching, they probably would have been able to guess what was going to happen next. It was very, very predictable. So, the editing of the execution of the gore scenes were very good.
Yeah. So we'll agree on that.
Yeah. There's this one part. I don't want to give it away. I guess I shouldn't. But there's one part there that, you know, this particular thing that happens to a person has been shown in movies many times already.
Yeah.
But the way they do it and how much of it they show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
like that part of my body was hurting when it was happening to that character.
Yeah.
I also liked what I liked about it was, you know, the scenery was very nice. The actual where they filmed the movie, I think predominantly it was in Peru and some parts were in Chile.
Yeah.
But scenery-wise, it was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess I'll give Pace and Editing a 3 out of 5.
Okay. I'll agree. 3 out of 5 would be suffice for the pace.
Trying to be nice.
Trying to be nice.
I don't really care, to be honest.
Again, the movie it flowed pretty well. It's just what took us out of it again was just pretty much the
acting. Dun dun dun
dun dun dun.
I guess I'll start with this one. Let me just be straightforward. Acting, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5, just to actually because of the fact that there are people in the movie that talked. It's the weakest point of the movie, hands down. Without question, it's the weakest part. And, you know, these kind of movies, you don't need to have that much of a good acting to make it work. Like, Hostel, again, there wasn't amazing acting in it, but the gore itself held it over.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm surprised this movie wasn't as gory as Hostel was, or even, like, remember?
Yeah, it was. Wow. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't as gory
There was
as
much
Hostel was.
more stuff in Hostel, and like even like J-Lo's movie from way back when, The Cell, there was some messed up stuff in that movie.
Yeah.
Like ripping out nipple rings and everything. Oh, they had to actually in this movie. I forgot about that.
Did what?
No, did they? No, I'm lying. So, but you know, in The Cell, you know, J-Lo gets the, you know, in this scene in The Cell, it's something I can't forget. It's like she pulls out the thing.
Okay.
You know, so like I don't understand why you had to edit this movie to have less gore when there's been movies that have had more.
Right.
And more often.
Right.
I think that Lorenza Izzo, who played Justine, when she in the beginning of the movie, it definitely felt like, yeah, all right, you're not that comfortable in your role yet. Mm. But as the movie progressed, you can tell that, you know, she became a little more in her element, where it was less of her trying to be a normal person and her becoming a survivor.
Right.
So I think she did a very good job of being a distressed person trying to survive her situation.
Mm-hmm. Ariel Levy again was good at being a douchebag. That actually was not.
Yes.
That was actually.
It was actually
believable. We hated
his
him
accent
the
threw me
whole
off though. His accent is real.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it seemed fake because it was so real.
Right. It took you out of the movie, but then again, like I said before, it made him a great douchebag, especially a lot of the stuff that he said, which was just totally
douchey stuff.
Douchey stuff. It was, you know.
Um,
And believe it or not, Aaron Burns, who came off as like a real is the awkward
Jonah.
Yeah. You felt for him just because
He wanted a girl so bad.
he was the lovable dork.
Who tries to impress the girl by being very nice.
And as you know, the nice guys in all these movies, a lot of the times.
Not to say he dies. He might. Anyway, I mean, like, again, I didn't like the actress that played Casey, the roommate, Sky Ferrara's performance. I'm sorry, girl, you did so bad. I respect you because you're an actress, but man,
We didn't like it.
Maybe the director, maybe Eli Roth just doesn't give you enough direction, or he told you you're great. Was not good. That really kind of set the tone for me, like I said before. What I did like, the only person that actually did a halfway decent job was I hope I'm saying his last name right, Richard Burgi. But he's also a seasoned veteran. He's done a whole bunch of TV shows and movies in the past, and so he played Justine's father in this movie. And again, his role is very limited, but since he knows what he's doing, he knew how to say things, what tone to use, what facial expression to use, so it came across as believable. But every other person, from top to bottom.
Wait a minute. So there's one person from top to bottom I gotta take out of there because by the end of the movie I actually gave a shit about him was Daniel, who was played by Nicolas Martinez. I think that's it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell if his accent was real.
So I thought that was.
I think it is real. It's just that.
Who's it? So name me the cast of The Big Bang Theory.
Sheldon, Leonard.
Leonard.
Yeah.
He reminded me of Leonard with an accent. If you look at him like really closely, he reminded me of Leonard with an accent, which kind of it it brought me to, as the movie progressed,
Oh,
right?
okay.
You see that photo?
A little bit. Okay.
With a picture Leonard from The Big Bang
facial
Theory
hair.
with facial hair,
And-
bald, and with an accent. I actually can't
I didn't
tell
think
what
of that
his
until you
accent
just
was.
mentioned that. I didn't even see that.
But he did a decent job to where we didn't care about him till the actual movie started progressing and all the way kind of towards the end.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. I'll leave him out of that list from top to bottom because he actually did pretty good. So, acting for me, I guess I'm going to do the first decimal point in our scoring system would be about 2.5.
I'm not going to give it 0.5. 2.
2.
Okay. 2 out of 5 for me. So to wrap up the Green Inferno review, I gave watchability a 2 out of 5. And you give it?
2 out of 5.
Fun factor, I give it a 3 out of 5. You give it?
2 out of 5.
Tone, I gave it a 3 out of 5. And you?
2 out of 5.
Pace and editing, I gave it 3 out of 5. You give it?
3 out of 5.
And acting, I give it a measly 2 out of 5. And you do?
2.5.
So my total was a 52%, which is a 13 out of 25. And yours was?
I guess it was a 13.5 out of 25.
Which is a 54. So collectively...
Overall score for the Green Inferno is D-. Thanks for watching this episode of SHORYUFLICKS.
Watch it.
I'd catch the Green Inferno on demand if I were you.
Not even. I would not even.
Not even watching
I'm just being mean. Unless
Catch it on demand.
Unless Lorenzo wants to come out with me one day and have a coffee.
Thanks for watching. My name is Maersky.
I'm Will.
Take care.
Adios.
Peace.
SHORYUFLICKS.